How long do you go?
30 seconds.
10.
10 seconds.
Are there rules on like exercise?
Oh! That is some serious punching. Get him off the rope. Get somebody in there.
Hey, Autumn Athletes, Larry Sorensen here. And today I'm going to connect with Tom Nicholson, find out what makes him an Autumn Athlete that's not done yet. Before we get started, as always, if you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, ding that bell for notifications. Don't forget to visit automathletesndy.com for cool merchandise and apparel. All right, enough of the advertising. Let's get this thing started. Tom, thanks so much for joining us today. Why don't you start us off with a little introduction?
Hey, Larry, thanks for having me. My name is Tom Nicholson. I'm 53 years old. I'm married, wife of 27 years, Cindy. Got 3 boys, 24, 22, and 20. You know, there's nothing really special about me as far as athlete, world class, anything like that. I just love to do it all. I want to be able to play as long as I can. I want to be unlimited, and so I just love to get out. I'm a thrill junkie, and I want to do it all before I can't. I work for GS Global Resources, where I'm a business exec here, and I've been here for 25 years. And love it here.
Before we talk more about what you're doing now and what you have overcome here in the last year, I want to get just a little bit of athletic history on you. So did you play some ball in high school and maybe beyond high school up until now? Or, fill us in a little bit on what you did from an athletic standpoint.
I played every sport that was possible when I was young. I encouraged my boys to do the same thing, play as many sports as you can, figure out where your love is. And so I did the same thing. And really, when I got to that middle school and high school age, it was basketball and soccer for me. So narrowed it down and started focusing on those 2 sports, but would play anything and everything that I could, just in the backyard, intramural, whatever, just to continue to play as many sports as possible. And then that is where I growing up and playing soccer. Took a hiatus, having kids and starting a family, all that kind of stuff. Then I got back into sports by coaching my boys. So I wanted them to have a great experience, to enjoy sports, and so that's what I want to do. I wanted to make sure they had a good experience. So I started coaching them, and in the process, got back into playing soccer again with a bunch of coaches that were in the club that I played with, and some old high school teammates, just to keep moving. So did that for probably another 15 years until COVID, and as well as basketball. I was playing a city league in basketball, and then COVID hit, and everything just started to fall apart. The teams got old. Everybody started getting older, and when they shut down on COVID, it was hard to put those teams back together. So, I'm still hoping someday I get back to play soccer again competitively. But in the meantime, I'm doing more board sports, which I've done for 25, 30 plus years, wakeboarding, snowboarding, surfing, anything like that. I golf a fair amount, mountain bike, just again, anything I can do to go have fun and get exercise what I do.
See, we met because we had a similar circumstance, pretty close together. So a little over a year ago, something disrupted everything that you were doing. So tell us what happened. Tell us how you're progressing and where you're at now.
We both had knee surgeries probably within 2 weeks of each other, and bonded over the rehab down at the Y. So yes, my experience with my knee was I was wakeboarding. This is about almost a year ago to the date, and I was wakeboarding like I've done for 30 years, and was just a beautiful day, perfect glass calm day. I was hitting everything, spinning, just everything. And the way I've explained it to the people that have asked, when you're done with your set, you can either let go of the rope and just glide into the water and let the boat come back and pick you up, or you can go big and try something that you've never landed before, or just try something different. I've always gone with the latter, where I just don't let go of the rope. I always finish with something big, trying to learn something new. And so I did. I threw front roll, came over and landed just a little bit awkward on heavy on the back foot, kind of snapped the front of my board down, and I heard my knee just go kunk, and then kunk back in. And before I even sank in the water, I knew that I blew my knee out. Didn't know to the extent, but I felt it, immediate pain. But I sank into the water, and before the boat's even back to come and circle back to me, I'm thinking, okay, if I get surgery next week, I can still be snowboarding by this winter. It was a complete tear on my ACL. It was a bucket tear on my meniscus. What they actually said was the surgeon said it was actually obliterated, and I had a partial tear on my MCL, and then had to wait 6 weeks for everything to kind of heal up, everything to kind of calm down, swelling, and to see if the MCL would repair itself. And so I waited that painful 6 weeks before I could have surgery, and just in a hating life, hating the mad at the world. But yeah, have since come around, and now 11 months post surgery, and I feel as strong or as ever, and unlimited by anything I want to do.
So you mentioned about the medial healing on its own. That did heal on its own by the time you had surgery, I believe. And so you can confirm that. Looks like you're saying yes to that.
Yes, I
So
did.
tell us a little bit about surgery. What type of graft did you have? How did it go coming out of surgery, and getting started with rehab and all of that?
They replaced my ACL with the patellar tendon. So one of the options was, because my knee was so just right, three out of four ligaments gone. One of the options was actually to go with a knee replacement, and I didn't want to work with anybody that was going to limit what I could do going forward. I wanted to keep all the original equipment as much as possible. So there were options, but the surgeon recommended the patellar tendon being the strongest option for the long term, as far as replacing the ACL, but also was going to be the toughest recovery. And I was perfectly fine with that, because I wanted to be, again, unlimited. So it was basically the patellar tendon on the ACL. Then for the meniscus, they could either kind of suture that, and if you suture it, you have to stay off for 6 weeks ish, just to let it heal. Remain on crutches, just let it heal. I was really hoping for that, although I didn't want to be on crutches for 6 weeks. I was kind of hoping for that, because then you kind of keep that cartilage and ligament and everything kind of intact. But instead, because it was too far gone, they just cleaned it up. The concern there being that in long term you may need to you may end up being bone on bone. But the surgeon felt that there was enough there that didn't think that would be a problem. He said maybe if you did this at 25, that when you were 50 or 60, you maybe need to, but he said realistically at 70, I should be all right. So one of my other options, I actually did this with my with my shoulders is I'm looking at doing stem cell therapy. I did that. I had shoulder surgery on each side with torn labrum and cuff tears, just again sports over the years, and I did the stem cell therapy on my shoulders, and it was like the fountain of youth, and just kind of tricking your body into regrowing tissue. And I'm like, inject that in my veins. Just give me an IV of that stuff. It was awesome. So I think I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at my knee and do the same thing and see if I can do anything. Maybe even if it prevents some arthritis that's in there, whatever. I'm going to try to do that yet this fall.
And then, so obviously you went into rehab after surgery. So how did that progress? Kind of give us a timeline into when you got cleared for duty. And then of course, how are you doing right now?
When I talked to the surgeon originally, that was one thing I asked him. I said, okay, so how soon can I snowboard? And he's like, you're going to take the winter off. I'm like, you just issued me a challenge there. You don't know what you've just done. So I was actually doing the PT before I had surgery. So one of the things they wanted me to just strengthen up my leg, just getting ready for the surgery. So I was back and doing squats and stair mill, before I even had surgery. So I was on crutches for a while, a couple weeks, and then started to be able to kind of move up and down stairs. So I almost looked normal again before surgery. And so then go into surgery and completely start over. You're in the movement, trying to get prevent scar tissue, but get that range of motion back. And so doing that on the couch with the machine, your leg up. But within a couple weeks, I'm in doing PT and getting my leg moving and right away. So by 3 months, I was back to squatting my pre-injury weights at 3 months. So I worked hard. I worked every single day. On the PT, I was doing, did a normal workout, but then I would do a second stop at the gym and do just 45 minutes, at least 45 minutes of PT, band work, body work, balance work, every single day. And then I was doing my normal workouts. And so I got back to the point where, I felt really good at 3 months. Then at 5 months, it was still the tail end of winter, and I needed to go snowboarding, and it was maybe not full, approval of the surgeon, but PT was like, I kind of know what you got to do for your own mental health, for your own well-being. Just be safe, wear your knee brace and don't push too hard. So I was snowboarding in Austria and at month 5. First day, I was just kind of slowly making my way down the mountain. Second day, I was, just getting a little faster and charging. By the third day, it was just glorious. It was just absolutely amazing. By 6 months, I was cleared to start running, jumping, sprinting. I should say sprinting, jumping, change of direction. So I added that into the PT routine, doing cone drills, ladders, box jumps, just full on straight sprinting, that kind of stuff. And added that in. And then at 8 months, I was back on the board, snowboarding behind the same boat, same lake, same friends that scene of the crime originally. And so at 8 months, I was back to wakeboarding and surfing, and it was like one of those moments where it's just like, I want to just yell out and like, I made it, I did it, I feel great. It was awesome to be back. So the only thing that I was at that point, I was cleared at 9 months because my strength and my repaired knee and was 90% of my good knee. And they said, okay, PT's done, you're good to go. You can return to soccer, you can return to everything. So I'm right now looking for an old man soccer team to join, just to get back out and just run and play and be free.
Well, maybe somebody in our audience will hear this and can help you out there.
Yeah.
All right. So you're in great shape at this point. So we want to know, what your routine is for workouts. So run us through a typical week, days, types of training you do, cross training. Are you still doing some of the PT type stuff? What do you do to keep yourself fit?
I'm a 7 days. It's something that I've done for whatever, 30, 35 years I've been in the gym. After high school sports ended, I needed to find a new outlet, and I ended up just becoming a gym rat at that point, and that replaced my field sports at that point. And ever since, I just do it because I enjoy it. I love being in the gym. I love working out. I love it. I love the de-stressing. I love the hormones. I love breaking away, at lunch and just not thinking about work. So now I'm at, like I said, I'm 7 days, but I will lift 3 days a week. I've got a leg day, shoulder day, and a chest day. So that'll be 3 lifts a week. Every day I'm doing some sort of cardio, at least 20, 30 minutes. And that can be anything from stair mill, running, to Peloton, mountain biking, and anything, swimming. I'll make sure I'm moving, get my heart rate up. I love the feeling of getting my heart rate up at 150, 160, 170. I just want to just get it going. So cardio, lift days. I'm still doing PT. I still do PT a couple days a week. Still doing that balance work. Was at the gym. Didn't see you there today at lunch. But did still doing step downs. Jumping over boxes. Balance work, bands. Just keep working on that strength and that those fine little muscles there. So that's a couple days a week. I'm doing the kind of those explosion days where I'm doing box jumping and sprinting and running at least another day or two a week as well. And then I'll do core. Stretching is try to do at least every other day. I'll do it as much as time permits. I can't spend, there are days I'm 2 hours in the gym, like on the weekend, and that's, I can't spend any more time than that. And so there's limits to, what I could do. I would spend more time if I could. Then I'll also the other thing I've added in is yoga. Again, throwing the kitchen sink at it, and so it's one thing that I probably never thought that I'd be doing, but yeah, it's awesome. My flexibility and is better than it's ever been as well.
Two things. I wasn't at the gym this morning because I was at the courts hitting some volleyballs. And then secondly, I'm going to the gym as soon as we're done talking here. So,
just had to bust you up there.
You can't do me like that, but so obviously the training is just part of your DNA, but how do you feel yourself? Are you as strict with your diet? Tell us how you approach diet and nutrition.
Yeah, I'm not as strict. So I've gone through the meal plans and breaking down the triples and dialing in using my Fitness Pal to document all my meals. I did that to the point where I really know it. I know what my body needs. I know what I can have, what I shouldn't have. So I'm not super strict now, but I can pretty much feel where my body needs it, where I need additional fuel, and the types of food. So there's some people that when they travel, they'll send packaged foods and or people that weigh their foods. I'm not to that point. I still enjoy going out to eat, especially like traveling, just going out and seeing the new cultures and the food and the drink. I love that. So I don't want to limit that. So one of the reasons that I do work out as hard as I do is so that I can enjoy that. So what I'll really keep it down to is I'll limit the junk. I don't eat like chips, like snack foods, like that kind of stuff. Soda, I won't drink. Like soda is just like that's like maybe 1 or 2 a month. I'll treat myself to a Dr. Pepper kind of thing. But for no, I don't eat fast food. Burgers and stuff. I like it, but very rarely. I can't even remember the last time I had a fast food burger. So what we'll do, like at home, we do like HelloFresh. So me, when I talk about eating clean, it's like I'm not really eating clean. I'm just eating like HelloFresh chicken, well balanced, nothing, it's not, bad. So we'll do that, probably three nights a week. Eat relatively healthy, but on the weekends we go out to eat and enjoy food. Try to make, good options when you go out to eat as much as possible. I love like roasted chicken or something like that, but I'll absolutely have a steak or a filet when I can too. So yeah, it's not necessarily cheat days, but I think it's everything in moderation more than that. But yeah, I just try to make good decisions because I know what I need and make sure I fuel my body so that I can do everything I want to do.
All right, so obviously you have done a tremendous amount of work on your own fitness, but at your job, you've kind of spearheaded an all-encompassing wellness program. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we were really proud of our wellness plan that we've got at work here. Makes us really unique and it really focuses on the employees and having happy and healthy employees. We have an on-site wellness plan that includes it's done by us for a company called Core Wellness. They have a chiropractor on site 3 days a week. And they also have a personal coach on site 4 days a week. Employees can see them on the clock, just make an appointment, go in and see them, and they'll help them with anything from mental health, financial, any problem that the employee has. They can go and see them. And they'll help them out. They'll work out with anything. It's all voluntary, but it'll anything that they need. Let's say the doctor says, hey, you got to exercise more. And they'll say, well, I've never been to a gym. So they will work on a plan with them to, here's what you do when you're in the gym, and take them through, be their personal trainer. Or a doctor says, I got to eat better. I've got high blood pressure. So I got to whatever. So they'll work with recipes or give them shopping lists, anything that the employee needs. But that is one of the things that makes our culture really special here and makes us unique. It helps us as part of our business strategy, really, which is allows us to hire the best, but also retain the best, and helps with our just overall engagement efficiencies. If the employee knows that we genuinely care about them, they are going to want to work here, and hopefully they're not going to want to leave. So we see this back with our efficiencies and with our just overall lack of turnover. People just don't leave here.
So you also showed me when I got to visit over there that you have a full functional gym as well. So why don't you take a second here and give us a little tour of your gym? Let's check out this video.
This isn't the typical type of gym that you'd see at a hotel. This has got all the equipment that you need to get a full workout in, from treadmills that have suspension in them to a stair mill to spin bike, recumbent bike, row machine, elliptical. We've got dumbbells, we've got cable crossover machines. So really you can do everything that you need to do at a gym. And then we also have an area where we have our group classes. So our core wellness will also do training for us, or the employees might just throw up a Peloton class up on the TV, and they can do that during lunch, before work, after work, and really is a benefit that the employees really love. Employees are encouraged to take a break, take a walk at break time, just get some exercise, just move around, get the blood flowing. At lunch, absolutely, it's a great opportunity to get up there and get your workout in. Our employees have really loved it and enjoyed having that right on site, where they don't have to go to the gym after work or on the way home and drive around. So yeah, it's been very well received.
Let's take a little jump back and talk a little bit about the psychological aspect of the entire process that went on. Talk to us a little bit about that. And, I'm hoping maybe somebody else who's just got injured or who's looking at ACL surgery or something might, or maybe they're just getting started with it, just had it, something that they might be able to get out of what you have to say, having experienced it and coming out on the other side in a very positive way.
It's been a challenge for sure. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody to go through this, but at the end of it all, I feel great. I feel stronger than ever. I feel like that I have conquered just another challenge, and to a degree, I feel invincible again. I never thought I'd injure myself the first time around. Didn't even cross my mind. I had hundreds of worse wipeouts, never even crossed my mind. But I'm back to that point again where again I feel like I can do whatever. It hasn't always been like that for sure. So originally, injuring myself, was just painful. Because I didn't want to lose a year of my life. I know there's a horizon there. I know I can't do this stuff forever. I know there's going to be a point where I can't do whatever I want to do, and I didn't want to lose a year in that process. So I was beating myself up really, really pretty rough at the start, like in those first couple weeks, and to a degree, I was mad at the world, and there was a point where it was tough, but that brings me to like that's right around the time that I met you at the gym, because we were both probably right at that same point, and maybe I just kind of got past that myself. But I see you struggling. You're just trying to like I don't know. You're trying to straighten your knee the first time I saw you, like kind of on the corner by the turf, and probably you were hating life at the same point. And wherever I see someone like that, I'll always just I know, and I'll just go up and let you. It's like, hey, what happened to you? I could I could see that you were working on your knees, could see the brace and just try to find that support network and find people that'll help you out, help you get through it. I guess there's a cool story in this that I talked to going into I have two gyms I belong to. The other gym that I belong to, I was going in there, immediately, and I was just hitting like ice baths, whatever I could do just to do something. And there was a kid, high school age kid, at the front desk, and when I walk in, he's like, "Oh, how you doing? All right." And I just go, or whatever, and I did that every night for the first couple weeks, and then each night he say, "Hey, how you doing? Looking good, man. That's impressive. I wish I could do that." And then it was after a couple weeks of that you just say something nice every day, and I just never really responded to it. And after a couple weeks, I did walk back over to him one day and said, "Hey, just so you know, thanks for giving me the words of encouragement that really helped, and gave me some hope, gave me some good vibes that I definitely needed." And so I will take that now and I'll pay that forward wherever I see someone, whether it's at the gym, I see somebody that's working on PT, whatever it is. I saw it's a teenager working with somebody PT at the gym, and could see him run and change direction and stuff like that. When they were at a break, I just walked over and just started talking. I said, "Man, you look great. How long has it been?" 7 months. I wish I could be there in 7 months. That's you give me hope. And then I was just at the Badger game this past week, 2 weekends ago, and there was a college age girl and with a brace and a fresh scar in there, and we were leaving at halftime because the game was so terrible. But we were walking out, and I just stopped and talked to her and said, "Hey, how's it going? ACL?" Yep. And so I'm same, 10 months out. And just talked about her, injury, and said, keep it up, keep working hard. I'm proof that, in 10 months you can be doing whatever you want to do. And so, wherever I can try to, support, and bond. And even you and I over the whole, period, wherever we'd see each other, once or twice a week at the gym, and really didn't really know each other beyond that we had knee injuries, and just we'd walk by and just like you give a look like, nice job, or a fist bump, passing by, like keep kicking ass, and that helped having folks around you that were ready to give you those words of encouragement.
Yeah, I had a similar experience at OAW. I don't remember, I was a couple months in and trying to do something on the field, and you could see I was not fluid. And some guy on the other side of the gym, they have a gym that's open. It's a wonderful facility. And then the rehab people go in there as well. And just some random dude comes running over to me in the middle. I'm in the middle of like the little football section doing something, and just gives me a fist bump. And I don't remember what he said, but he just fist bumped me and took off running. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. But it was kind of cool just because, like you said, somebody saw it, and it was just a nice little bit of encouragement to just keep going, man. Just keep going. You'll get there.
Yeah.
So hopefully anybody out there listening, just keep going.
Yep.
All right. So, Tom, I want to thank you for joining us today, telling us a little bit about your experience here and what makes you an autumn athlete that's not done yet. I want to wrap up today by just giving you the floor to give us some final thoughts.
All I would say was just keep going. Don't give up. It's one of those things where people would say to me, "Oh man, you're not gonna wakeboard again, right? You're getting old. You should take it easy." And every time they do it, say, "No, no way. I'm not slowing down for anything. Absolutely." Um, not in a mean way, but I'll be like, "No, absolutely not. I'm not old. That's a state of mind." So, especially at 53, right? You're at the time 52. Uh, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get back, and I'd lose a step, or I wouldn't be able to get back to where I wanted to be. And I worked my butt off, absolutely, so I could do again everything that I wanted to do. So don't let up. Just, I guess until you physically can't, just keep living life to the fullest, wide open throttle every day. That's my plan, at least.
Well, there you go, folks. Tom Nicholson. He is definitely an autumn athlete that's not done yet. Remember, keep moving, set your own goals, and train hard to achieve them. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.